I was changing my daughter's diaper at her 4th birthday party when my mother whispered, "She has Michael's eyes." Michael is my best friend. Or he was. The words hung in the air between us like smoke. Emma squirmed on the changing table, her little hands reaching for the balloon tied to my wrist. Around us, 30 voices sang off key. The cake, 3 tiers, professionally decorated with fondant butterflies, sat on the table where Michael stood, one hand resting on my wife, Sarah's shoulder. I looked at Emma, really looked. 4 years old today. Dark curls where Sarah and I both have straight hair, wide-set brown eyes when ours are blue and green. I'd noticed before, obviously, but I'd done what you do. I'd explained it away. Recessive genes, Sarah's grandmother, the mailman joke that isn't really a joke. "What did you say, Mom?" She smiled, touched Emma's cheek. "Nothing, sweetie, just that she's beautiful." But her hand shook. I carried Emma back to the party. Sarah had her phone out, filming everything like she always did. Michael saw us coming and grinned. He'd been at every birthday, every hospital visit, every Tuesday dinner for the past 4 years. "There's the birthday girl." He swept Emma up before I could object. She laughed, called him Uncle Michael, wrapped her arms around his neck. I took out my phone, opened the Photos app, started scrolling. Emma's 3rd birthday, Michael holding her while she blew out candles. I was in the background, holding the cake. Emma's 2nd birthday, Michael and Sarah on the couch, Emma between them. I'd taken the photo. Emma's 1st birthday, Michael feeding her cake. Where was I? Oh, right. I was cutting more cake for guests. Every single photo. In every single one, Michael stood exactly where a father should be. My mother appeared at my elbow. "We should talk." "Should we?" "Not here." She glanced at the crowd, at Sarah, at Michael. "Please." I looked at my wife. She was laughing at something Michael said. His hand was still on her shoulder. I counted. 3 seconds, 4, 5. His thumb moved in a small circle. She didn't pull away. "Yeah," I said to my mother. "Let's talk." We walked to the parking lot. My mother lit a cigarette. I'd never seen her smoke before. "When did you start that?" 4 years ago. She took a drag. Wouldn't look at me. "Around March." March. Emma was born in December. 9 months before December is March. "Mom, I didn't want to ruin your life." The sky was very blue. I remember thinking that, absurdly blue for such an ugly conversation. Ruin my life how? She opened her purse, pulled out a leather date book. Burgundy, the kind she'd carried my whole childhood. The pages were soft, worn at the corners like she'd handled it 1,000 times. "I found this last week while cleaning out the garage. I'd forgotten I kept it." She flipped it open, showed me a date circled in red, March 15th, 2020. Next to it, in her handwriting, Sarah's first OB appointment. "So? Look at the next few weeks." I looked. March 22nd, Sarah OB number 2. March 29th, Sarah OB number 3. April 5th, April 12th, 14 appointments in the first trimester. "Why were you tracking Sarah's appointments?" "I wasn't." She took another drag. "I was tracking who went with her." My hands went numb. "I stopped by the clinic one day to surprise you both, to bring you lunch. You weren't there." She tapped the date book. "Michael was." The cigarette smoke curled between us. I watched it dissipate. "Maybe he was just 14 times?" Her voice cracked. I kept going back. Different days, different times. Every appointment I checked, he was there, holding her hand in the waiting room, going back with her, coming out together. I looked at Michael's car across the parking lot, a Subaru Outback, family car. He'd bought it right after Emma was born, said he wanted to be safe when he drove his goddaughter around. Goddaughter. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I love you." She grabbed my arm, hard enough to bruise. "Because I didn't want to see you destroyed. Because I thought, God help me, I thought maybe I was wrong. Maybe there was an explanation." "Is there?" She looked at me, really looked at me, and I saw what I needed to know written in her eyes. "We need to talk, but not here," she whispered. "Not at your daughter's birthday party. Come to my house tomorrow, please. Your father and I, we need to tell you everything." "Everything?" "How long we've known." Her cigarette had burned down to the filter. She dropped it, crushed it under her heel. "Since before Emma was born." I drove home in silence. Sarah talked the whole way. How perfect the party was. How Emma loved her presence. How Michael was so good with her. "He'd make a great dad someday," she said. I gripped the steering wheel. "Yeah." At home, I tucked Emma into bed. She hugged Mr. Snuggles, the brown teddy bear I'd given her at the hospital, the one with the missing eye. "Did you have fun today, baby?" "Uh-huh. Uncle Michael gave me a new doll. He's very generous. He says he loves me." My throat closed. "Lots of people love you." "But he says he loves me most. More than anybody." She yawned. "Except you, Daddy. You love me most. Most." I kissed her forehead. "Yeah, baby. I love you most. I went to my office, closed the door, opened my laptop. I typed DNA paternity test mail order. No, wait. I closed the laptop, opened it again, cleared my browser history first, then opened an incognito window, then typed the search. Results flooded the screen. 23 companies, all of them promising answers, all of them requiring the same thing: a cheek swab, saliva, hair with roots. I ordered one, overnight shipping, paid with a credit card Sarah didn't know about. Then I opened a Word document, started typing. March 15th, 2020, Sarah's first OB appointment. I was at work. Michael took the day off. Reason given: sick. I pulled up his Facebook, started scrolling back, found March 2020, found his check-ins. March 15th, no check-in at work. But a photo posted at 2 p.m., him at a coffee shop near Sarah's OB clinic. March 22nd, another sick day. Another coffee shop photo. Same location. I kept scrolling, kept typing. The document grew. 1 page, 2, 5. I had a notebook in my desk drawer, a small black one I'd bought for grocery lists and never used. I ripped out the first pages with their ancient notes about milk and eggs. Started fresh. Evidence log, day 1. Then I listed everything, every photo, every sick day, every time Michael's hand had lingered, every time Sarah had smiled at him the way she used to smile at me. My phone buzzed. Michael. "Great party today, man. Emma's getting so big." I stared at the message. 3 exclamation points. Like he was just a friend, just Uncle Michael. Just the guy who'd been my best friend since 4th grade, 25 years. We'd been friends for 25 years. I reached into my drawer, pulled out the friendship bracelet we'd made at summer camp when we were 10. Faded blue thread. I'd worn it every day until my wedding. Sarah had asked me to take it off. Said it didn't match my ring. I set it on the desk next to the evidence log. Then I texted back, "Thanks. Same time next week for dinner?" He replied immediately, "Wouldn't miss it." I smiled. They thought I didn't know. That was their first mistake. Wednesday dinner, our ritual, every week for 4 years. Michael would come over, bring wine, stay late. We'd watch basketball or play cards. Sarah would make her famous lasagna. Tonight I watched. I watched Sarah hand Michael a beer before he asked. I watched her laugh too loud at his jokes. I watched him help her clear the table while I played with Emma. I'd hidden a voice recorder under the coffee table that morning, just in case. The kind lawyers use, voice activated. After Emma went to bed, we sat in the living room. Michael sprawled on the couch like he owned it. Sarah next to him, me in the armchair across from them. "So," Michael said, "big project at work next month." "Yeah." "Might need to take some time off, get my head straight." He glanced at Sarah. "Maybe a trip, clear my mind." Sarah bit her lip. "A trip sounds nice." "You should come too," I said. "Both of you. Make it a couples thing." The room went quiet. Michael took a long drink. "Maybe," he said. Sarah stood. I should check on Emma. She's fine, I said. I just checked. She trailed off. Went upstairs anyway. Michael and I sat in silence. The TV played. Some game. I couldn't have told you which teams. You're quiet tonight, he said. Tired. The party wear you out? Something like that. He leaned forward. You know you can talk to me, right? We're brothers, man. Always have been. I looked at him. Really looked. Same face I'd known since 4th grade. Same Michael who'd been my best man, who'd driven me to the hospital when Emma was born because Sarah went into labor while I was drunk at his bachelor party. Wait, his bachelor party. But Michael never got married. The engagement fell apart 2 months before Emma was born. Why did Amanda leave you? I asked. He blinked. What? Your fiancée, Amanda. She called off the wedding right before Emma was born. You never told me why. Just wasn't right. She found out, didn't she? Found out what? I smiled. Nothing, just wondering. Sarah came back downstairs. Emma wants you, she said to me. I just put her down. She's asking for you specifically. I went upstairs. Emma was sound asleep. On her nightstand sat the drawing she'd made that afternoon. Our family. She'd drawn it at the party while the other kids played. I picked it up. There was Sarah. There was Emma. There was a tall figure labeled Uncle Michael helping Mommy. There was me in the corner, small, holding what looked like a briefcase. I folded the drawing, put it in my pocket. When I came back down, Michael was gone. He had to leave, Sarah said. Early meeting. At 8 p.m.? He texted his boss, got called in. I nodded, pulled out my phone, checked Michael's location. We'd shared locations years ago for emergencies. He wasn't heading to work. He was heading to the same coffee shop near Sarah's old OB clinic. The DNA kit arrived on Friday. Plain brown box, no labels. I waited until Sarah took Emma to the park. Then I opened it. 2 swabs, 2 vials, simple instructions. I went to Emma's room, found her hairbrush, the one with the pink handle, pulled 3 hairs from it, made sure they had the roots attached. Then I swabbed my own cheek, sealed everything, addressed the return envelope. On my way to drop it in the mail, I passed our wedding photo in the hallway. Sarah in white, me in my tux, Michael standing next to me as best man. I looked at his face in the photo, then at my reflection in the glass. Then I mailed the kit. The website said 7 to 10 business days. I had 10 days to decide whether I was a father or a fool. I didn't sleep. Not really. I'd lie down next to Sarah and stare at the ceiling, count the hours, watch the clock. 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Sarah slept peacefully. She always did. Not a care in the world. I started working from home more. Said I needed to focus. Really, I needed to watch. I needed to see. Michael texted every day. Sarah texted him back. I'd see her phone light up, see her smile, see her type quickly, then delete, then type again. One morning, I watched her text him while making breakfast. Good morning, I said. She jumped, dropped the phone. Jesus, you scared me. Sorry. I picked up her phone, handed it back. Saw the name on the screen. Michael, a heart. He's asking about dinner next week, she said quickly. Oh? Yeah, he might be busy. Shame. I poured coffee. We can reschedule. Yeah, maybe. She deleted the text thread right in front of me. Thought I didn't notice. I noticed everything now. How she angled her phone away when typing. How she showered right after Michael left on Wednesday nights. How she did laundry immediately after. His beer glass, his napkin, anything he'd touched, erasing evidence. I photographed everything, every text notification, every call log, every time she said she was going to the store and came back 3 hours later. My evidence log grew. 30 pages, 50, 100. And then on a Tuesday morning, 12 days after I'd mailed the kit, an envelope arrived. Thick, official. From the DNA testing company, I was in my office. Sarah and Emma were at a play date. The house was quiet. I held the envelope for 5 minutes, just held it, felt the weight of it, Then I opened it. The first page was disclaimers, legal language. The second page was instructions for reading results. The third page was the results. Alleged father, test subject, AA. Child, test subject, B. Probability of biological relationship, 0.00%, 0.00%. I read it 5 times. Then I called my lawyer. Robert Chen didn't look like a lawyer. He looked like someone's grandfather. Cardigan. Reading glasses on a chain. A coffee mug that said, world's okayest attorney. But his eyes were sharp when he read the DNA report. How long have you suspected? 2 weeks, since her birthday party. And you've documented everything. He pulled out a yellow legal pad, coffee stained, well used. I slid my black notebook across his desk. 147 entries, dates, times, screenshots, photos, voice recordings. He flipped through it, nodded, kept nodding. This is good work, better than most clients give me. He looked up. But you need to understand something. In California, you have 0 legal rights to this child. The words hit like a fist. I'm her father. Biologically, no. Legally, not yet. You're not on the birth certificate as the biological father. Michael isn't either. I see here Sarah listed father unknown, and you signed as the presumed father. But if Michael decides to establish paternity, or if your wife pursues child support from him, a court could rule in his favor. So I could lose her. Yes. He set down the notebook, picked up a pen. It was heavy, old-fashioned. This was my father's pen, he said. He was a lawyer too. He used to say, sign only what you mean only what you sign. Your name is on that birth certificate. You've raised this child for 4 years. That means something. Does it mean enough? Depends. In alienation cases, the parent who seems more stable wins the child. Can you be that parent? Yes. Even if it means destroying your marriage, losing your best friend, cutting off your mother. I thought about Emma's drawing, me in the corner, Michael helping mommy. I'm not losing Emma. He started writing. Then here's what we do. Document everything, every interaction, every time your wife prioritizes Michael over Emma, every missed pickup, every broken promise. We build a case that you're the stable parent, the one Emma needs. How long? 6 months, maybe more. Can you maintain the facade that long? I looked at my father's wedding ring on my finger. I'd worn it since he died, since Emma was 1. I can do whatever it takes. Good. He tapped the legal pad. Because this won't be clean, your wife will fight, Michael will fight, your family will choose sides. Are you prepared for that? If you've ever had to choose between love and self-respect, you know there's really no choice at all. Yeah, I said, I'm prepared. I confronted Sarah on a Wednesday. Not our Wednesday dinner, I'd canceled that. Told Michael I had the flu. Let him squirm. I made sure Emma was at my in-laws' house. Made sure we were alone. Sarah was in the kitchen when I came home, making pasta. Her favorite playlist on. She was happy. Humming. I set my briefcase on the counter. Pulled out the DNA report, slid it across the granite. She looked at it, looked at me, looked back at the report. What is this? Read it. She picked it up. Her hands shook. The paper rattled. I watched her face change. Watched the color drain. Watched her mouth open and close. You had no right. I had every right. Where did you even get this? Mail order, very easy. Cheek swab from Emma's hairbrush. My DNA. Results in 10 days. She put the paper down, backed away from it like it was radioactive. It's a mistake. It's not. The lab made an error. Those places aren't accurate. I pulled out a second envelope. I ran it twice. 2 different companies. Same results. 0% probability. She sat down, hard, like her legs gave out. I can explain. Please do. It was one time, one mistake. We were drunk and I opened my mother's burgundy datebook. The one I'd borrowed, photocopied, marked. Your OB visits started March 15th, 2020. 14 appointments that first trimester. I pushed the date book toward her. Michael's work calendar shows 14 sick days that same period. His ex-fiancée Amanda broke up with him March 28th. Her Facebook post said, and I quote, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them." Sarah stared at the date book. "One time, Sarah. You said one time. Would you like to revise that statement?" She started crying. "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" "I love you. I've always loved you. Michael was just, he was there when you weren't. You worked so much. You were never home. He listened. He cared. So you slept with him. It wasn't about sex. It was about connection, about feeling seen." I laughed. Actually laughed. "You felt seen by fucking my best friend." "Don't." "For how long, Sarah? How long was the affair?" She didn't answer. I pulled out my phone, opened the recording app, hit play. Her voice came through the speaker. "Miss you. I wish he'd just leave for work already." Michael's voice. "Soon. We'll figure it out. We'll tell him together." Sarah's voice again. "I can't. He'd take Emma." Michael. "Emma's mine. He can't take what's mine." The recording was from last week, Wednesday night. I'd left the recorder under the couch cushion. Sarah's face crumpled. "You recorded us?" "Every Wednesday for the past month. Turns out you two aren't very careful after a bottle of wine." "You had no right." "I had no right?" My voice rose. I pulled it back, stayed cold. "I had no right to discover my entire life is a lie? Please. Please, we can fix this. We can go to counseling. We can..." "I want you out." "What?" "Out of my house tonight. You can't kick me out. This is my house too." I pulled out another document, lease agreement. I pulled the title records. "This house is in my name. Sole ownership. You moved in after we got married." "Where am I supposed to go?" "Michael's place, since you two are so close." She stood, rage replacing tears. "You're really going to do this? You're going to destroy our family." "Our family?" I held up the DNA report. "What family? The one built on lies? The one where my best friend is actually my daughter's father? That family?" "Emma needs her mother. Emma needs parents who don't lie to her face every single day." "I'm not leaving without her." "Then call your lawyer, because mine says I have a very good case." She grabbed her phone, texted someone, Michael probably. "This isn't over," she said. "No," I agreed. "It's just beginning." She went upstairs, came down with a suitcase 20 minutes later, slammed the door so hard a picture fell off the wall. Our wedding photo. The glass cracked right through Michael's face. I met Michael in a public place, city park, lunch hour, dozens of witnesses. He was already there when I arrived, sitting on a bench, looking at his phone. He saw me, smiled, waved. I sat down next to him. "Sarah called me," he said. "Said you're freaking out about some DNA test." "Yeah." "Look, man, those things aren't accurate. You can't trust..." I pulled out the childhood friendship bracelet, the faded blue one from summer camp, held it for a moment, then dropped it at his feet. "I know," I said. He looked at the bracelet. "Know what?" "Everything. The affair, the pregnancy, Emma, all of it." He picked up the bracelet, twisted it in his fingers. "I don't know what Sarah told you, but..." "Sarah told me it was a mistake, a one-time thing. But I have your work calendars, your sick days, text messages I recovered from her old phone that she thought she'd deleted." I pulled out a folder, handed it to him. Page 3 is particularly interesting. The one where you tell her you love her, that you've always loved her, that she chose wrong. He opened the folder, started reading. His face went pale. "Where did you get these?" "Cloud backup. Turns out Sarah never actually deleted anything, just removed it from her phone." He closed the folder, handed it back. Okay, fine. Yes. We had an affair. Are you happy now? How long? Does it matter? Yeah, it matters. He was quiet for a long time, watching a kid on the swings, a father pushing his daughter higher and higher. 6 months, he finally said. March through August. She ended it when she found out she was pregnant. Because she didn't know which of us was the father. She knew. The world tilted. What? She knew it was mine. The timing was obvious. She ended things with me because she wanted to keep her marriage, wanted to pretend everything was normal. He looked at me. I told her to tell you. I wanted to do the right thing. She refused. So you just went along with it? What choice did I have? She threatened to cut me out completely if I pushed, said she'd move away. I'd never see Emma. So you played Uncle Michael. I stayed close to my daughter. His voice rose. I was there for every birthday, every milestone, every moment you were too busy working to notice. I was working to support my family. Your family? He laughed, bitter. She was never yours. Emma was never yours, Sarah. He stopped, took a breath. I loved her first, before you even knew she existed. We dated in college. Did you know that? I didn't. 2 years. We were together 2 years. Then you showed up at that party. Remember? My party. And you started talking to her, making her laugh. She forgot I existed. So you waited. I waited for her to remember, to come back to me. And she did. She finally did. By cheating on her husband. By realizing she made a mistake, that she chose wrong. He stood. You took her from me. Emma was supposed to fix that, was supposed to prove that we belonged together. I stood too. Emma isn't a do-over for your failed relationship. She's a child. She's my child. Biologically, but I'm her father. I've been there every night when she wakes up from nightmares. Every morning when she needs breakfast. Every time she said daddy for the past 4 years, she was talking to me. That can change. Is that a threat? It's a promise. I'm filing for paternity, for custody. Emma should know her real father. Then I'll see you in court. He walked away, left the friendship bracelet on the ground. I picked it up. The threads broke in my hand. 25 years of trust unraveled in seconds. The family meeting was my idea. Everyone in one room. No more secrets, no more lies. My mother, my father, Sarah's parents, Sarah, Michael. I'd rented a conference room at a hotel, neutral territory. I set up a poster board at the front, a timeline, photos, documents, everything. They filed in one by one, confused, angry, defensive. What is this? My mother asked. This, I said, is the truth. I started at the beginning. March 15th, 2020, Sarah's first OB appointment, pointed to the entry in my mother's datebook, the one I'd copied and blown up to poster size. Mom knew Michael was going to these appointments. She checked. Multiple times. She knew before Emma was even born. My mother's face went white. I was trying to protect you. From what? The truth? From pain. From making a decision you'd regret. You mean you were protecting her? I pointed at Sarah. You chose her feelings over my reality. That's not fair, my father said. Your mother was in an impossible position. No. An impossible position is finding out your entire family has been lying to you for 4 years. I turned to Sarah's parents. You knew too, didn't you? Sarah's mother looked at the floor. We suspected. Suspected? Sarah told us there was a chance, that the timing was uncertain. We advised her to tell you, but she was afraid. So you all just decided to let me raise another man's child, to lie to me every single day, to let me fall in love with a little girl who was never supposed to be mine. She is yours, my mother said. Biology doesn't matter. You've been her father in every way that counts. Then why didn't you tell me? If it doesn't matter, why the secrecy? No one answered. I pointed to a printout on the board, a voice recording transcript. This is from 3 weeks ago. Michael and Sarah discussing how to handle me if I found out. The phrase, he'll never know, appears 17 times. Michael stood. This is ridiculous. You can't just sit down. Something in my voice made him sit. I looked at each of them, one by one. You all chose her lie over my reality. You chose protecting a secret over protecting me. My own mother, my own family. We were trying to keep the family together, my father said. What family? I grabbed the poster board, threw it. It clattered against the wall. This isn't a family. This is a conspiracy. Sarah was crying. Please, please, we can fix this. For Emma. Think about Emma. I am thinking about Emma. I'm thinking about how she's going to feel when she finds out her entire family built her childhood on a lie. I grabbed my bag, headed for the door. So here's mine. I'm done with every single person in this room. You can't mean that, my mother said. She tried to hug me. I stepped back. You were supposed to protect me. You protected my pain instead. Honey, please, don't. You lost that right. I looked at my father. You both did. We're family, my mother said. We don't leave. We stay. We work through things. We don't leave. I laughed. Cold. You already left me. You left me 4 years ago when you decided a comfortable lie was better than an uncomfortable truth. I'm not leaving. You all already left me. I walked out. Behind me, I heard Sarah sobbing, heard Michael trying to comfort her, heard my mother saying we needed to pray about this. I got in my car, drove to the one place that felt safe, Emma's preschool, pickup time. She came running out, pigtails bouncing, backpack bigger than she was. Daddy! I caught her, lifted her, held her tight. Hey, baby. We made paintings today. Want to see? More than anything. I drove us to the park, the one with the good swings. We played until the sun started setting, until the other kids went home. We sat on the bench, Emma on my lap, her head against my chest. Daddy? Yeah? Why is Mommy at Uncle Michael's house? My heart stopped. She told you that? She called me, said she's having a sleepover there. Can I have a sleepover there too? We'll see. Do you like Uncle Michael? I looked at her, those eyes, Michael's eyes, but she was looking at me with trust, with love, with 4 years of me being her world. Why do you ask? Sometimes Mommy talks to him on the phone and she sounds happy, happier than with you. She looked up at me. Did I make you sad? My throat closed. No, baby, you make everything better. Then why are you crying? I wiped my eyes. Because I love you so much it hurts. Does love hurt? Sometimes, but it's a good hurt. She hugged me, her little arms around my neck. I love you, Daddy, most. I love you most too. We sat there until the stars came out, until she fell asleep in my arms. I carried her to the car, buckled her in. She didn't wake up. On the seat next to her was a new drawing, one she'd made at school. It was labeled My Family in crayon. There was me, there was her, just the two of us, holding hands. Michael wasn't in it, Sarah wasn't in it, just Daddy and Emma. I put the drawing in my evidence folder. The next 6 months were surgical, precise, cold. I documented everything. Every promised call Sarah missed, every pickup she was late for, every time Emma cried because Mommy wasn't there. 47 instances. I tracked them in my Excel spreadsheet. Date, time, witness, what happened, what Emma said. Entry number 23, November 3rd, 4:15 p.m. Sarah missed pickup. Michael picked up Emma instead. Preschool teacher Mrs. Rodriguez noted Emma called Michael Daddy, and he didn't correct her. Emma confused and upset. Entry Doctor 31, November 17th, 7:00 p.m. Sarah canceled FaceTime with Emma. Reason given, dinner with friends. Emma cried for 45 minutes, self-soothed with Mr. Snuggles. Entry Darsharpin 47, January 8th, 2 p.m. Sarah brought Michael to Emma's doctor's appointment without notifying me. Pediatrician Dr. Kim asked if we were co-parenting with a new partner. Sarah said yes. My lawyer reviewed the log every week, smiled. This is exactly what we need. I also started therapy for Emma, for me. Documentation of Emma's improved behavior when she stayed with me, her anxiety when with Sarah and Michael. Dr. Patterson's notes, Emma expresses confusion about parental roles, refers to biological father as Uncle Michael, but shows signs of forced familiarity. Most secure attachment is with presumed father. Recommendation, maintain primary residence with father for stability. Emma's preschool teacher became a character witness. In my 15 years of teaching, I can always tell which children feel safe. Emma feels safe with her father. With her mother and Michael, she's performative. She's trying to please them. I built a case like I was building a house. Foundation first, then walls, then roof. Solid, unshakable. 6 months of evidence. 6 months of showing up. 6 months of being the parent Emma needed while Sarah played house with Michael. My lawyer's smile grew wider with each document I brought him. We can work with this, he said. We can definitely work with this. The courthouse smelled like floor polish and anxiety. I'd been here 3 times already for preliminary hearings. But this was different. This was the custody trial. Robert sat next to me, his cardigan replaced by a suit, but he still had his father's pen. Remember, he said, stay calm, answer only what's asked, don't engage with her lawyer's provocations. Sarah sat across the aisle with her attorney, a woman in a red suit who looked like she ate fathers for breakfast. Michael sat behind her, his hand on her shoulder. The judge entered, Honorable Margaret Fitzgerald, 60-something. Gray hair pulled back, reading glasses. She'd been a family court judge for 20 years. She looked at both of us over those glasses. This is a paternity and custody case complicated by 4 years of established relationship. I've read the briefs. I've reviewed the evidence. Now I want to hear from both parties. She looked at Sarah's lawyer. Ms. Henderson, you may begin. Ms. Henderson stood, smoothed her suit. Your Honor, my client Sarah Harrison is Emma's biological mother and primary caregiver. She has never denied Mr. Harrison access to the child. This case is simply a vindictive ex-husband trying to punish my client for ending their marriage. Your Honor, Robert stood. The marriage ended because Mrs. Harrison had a 4-year affair with Mr. Michael Torres, resulting in the birth of Emma. My client raised this child believing she was his biological daughter. When he discovered the truth, Mrs. Harrison moved in with Mr. Torres, effectively replacing my client with Emma's biological father without court approval or consideration for the child's established bonds. Judge Fitzgerald made a note. I want to hear from Mrs. Harrison first. Sarah took the stand, swore to tell the truth. Ms. Henderson approached her, softened her voice. Sarah, can you tell us about your relationship with Emma? She's my whole world. I gave birth to her. I nursed her. I've been there for every moment. And Mr. Harrison? He worked constantly, 60, 70 hours a week. Emma barely saw him. Michael stepped in, helped, became a father figure. When did you tell Mr. Harrison that Emma might not be his biological child? Sarah looked down. I didn't. I hoped there was a chance. The timing was uncertain. But Mr. Harrison performed a DNA test without your consent. Yes, he violated my privacy, Emma's privacy. Then he kicked me out of our home, kept Emma from me. I watched Robert make notes, waited. Ms. Henderson continued, Have you ever denied Mr. Harrison access to Emma? Never. He's the one who's been difficult, tracking my every move, recording private conversations, building some kind of conspiracy case against me. Thank you, Sarah. Ms. Henderson sat down. Robert stood, approached the witness stand slowly. Mrs. Harrison, you testified that the timing of Emma's conception was uncertain. Is that correct? Yes. Yet you marked Mr. Torres as your partner for OB/GYN visits, correct? Sarah hesitated. He was supporting me. I'd like to submit Exhibit A, Your Honor, Mrs. Harrison's medical records from her OB/GYN, with her signature designating Michael Torres as father on the intake forms. Judge Fitzgerald examined the documents. Mrs. Harrison, these forms clearly show you listed Mr. Torres as the father, not uncertain, not unknown, Mr. Torres. Sarah's face flushed. I was confused, emotional. I didn't know what to write. Robert pulled out another document. Exhibit B, text messages between you and Mr. Torres dated August 20, 2020, 1 month before Emma's birth. I'll read one. I can't tell him he'll leave. You'll have to stay in the background until she's older. Then we can be a real family. That's taken out of context. Is it? Let me read another. I love you. I wish this baby was his, so I didn't have to lie. Should I continue? Objection. Miss Henderson stood, harassing the witness. Overruled. Mrs. Harrison, please answer the question. Sarah's hands shook. I was scared. I didn't want to lose everything. So you chose to lie to my client, to let him raise a child you knew wasn't his. I chose to keep my family together by building it on fraud. Robert pulled out my evidence log. Your Honor, I'd like to submit Exhibit C, a 6-month log of visitation documented by my client. It shows 47 instances where Mrs. Harrison either missed scheduled time with Emma, was late, or brought Mr. Torres to parenting time without notification. Judge Fitzgerald flipped through the pages. Mrs. Harrison, according to this log, you missed Emma's parent-teacher conference in October. You were late to pick up 16 times. You canceled 7 scheduled FaceTime calls. Do you dispute these records? I had reasons. Work, traffic, life happens. Yet Mr. Harrison has 0 missed pickups, 0 late arrivals, 0 canceled calls. The judge looked at Sarah over her glasses. Help me understand. If Emma is your whole world, why does this log suggest otherwise? Sarah's composure cracked. Because I was trying to figure out my life. I was trying to balance everything. My relationship with Michael, my connection with Emma, dealing with my ex-husband's anger. It's not easy. So you prioritized your relationship with Mr. Torres over your daughter's stability? No, She stopped, took a breath. Michael is Emma's father. I wanted them to bond. By excluding Mr. Harrison, the man who raised her for 4 years? He had his chance. He was never there. Robert approached the stand. Mrs. Harrison, I have one question. When Emma wakes up at night with a bad dream, who does she call for? The courtroom went silent. Sarah opened her mouth, closed it. Mrs. Harrison, who does Emma call when she has a nightmare? It depends. Does it? Your Honor, I'd like to submit Exhibit D phone records from the past 6 months. Every night, Emma has called someone from her bedroom phone, a phone my client installed so she could reach her mother anytime. She has called my client. 23 calls. 0 calls to Mrs. Harrison. 0 calls to Mr. Torres. He turned back to Sarah. So I'll ask again. Who does Emma call when she's scared? Sarah's voice broke. Him. She calls him. Because? Because he's the one who's always been there. She started crying. Because she doesn't know the truth yet. Because I wanted to wait until she was older to explain that Michael is her real father. That we're supposed to be together. That this was all a mistake from the beginning. The courtroom went completely still. Robert turned to the judge. No further questions. Michael took the stand next, confident, ready. Ms. Henderson walked him through his story. The childhood friendship, the college relationship with Sarah, how she chose wrong, how he'd stayed close to his daughter. Mr. Torres, Ms. Henderson said, are you prepared to be a full-time father to Emma? Absolutely. I've waited 4 years for this. And your relationship with Sarah? We're together. We're planning to marry. Give Emma the family she deserves. Robert stood for cross-examination. Mr. Torres, you testify that you've waited 4 years to be Emma's father. Is that correct? Yes. Where were you the night Emma was born? Michael blinked. I wasn't allowed in the delivery room. Hospital policy. But Mr. Harrison was. He was her husband. So you waited in the lobby? No, I went home. Why? Sarah said it was better, less complicated. When did you first hold Emma? At the hospital, the next day. Robert pulled out a photo. Exhibit E, Your Honor, hospital visitor log. The only visitors recorded for Sarah Harrison's room were David Harrison, Sarah's mother, and Sarah's sister. No Michael Torres. Michael shifted. I came later, after official visiting hours. Yet you've claimed to be present for every moment. Interesting. Robert pulled out another document. Mr. Torres, you filed for paternity rights 3 weeks ago, correct? Yes. But you haven't filed for custody, haven't submitted a parenting plan, haven't completed the required parenting classes. Why? You assumed Emma would simply be handed to you because you share DNA. She's my daughter. No, Mr. Torres. Emma is a 4-year-old child with established bonds, routines, and a father who has been present every single day of her life. You're a biological contributor. That's not fair. What's not fair is that you pursued a married woman, impregnated her, then played uncle while my client raised your child. What's not fair is that you waited 4 years to stake a claim. What's not fair is that you put your desires above a child's needs. Objection! Ms. Henderson stood, argumentative. I'll allow it, Judge Fitzgerald said. She was leaning forward now, interested. Robert continued. Mr. Torres, have you ever changed Emma's diaper? Sarah handled that. Made her breakfast? Sometimes. Taken her to the doctor when she's sick? Sarah or David did that. Read her a bedtime story? I've read to her. How many times in the past 6 months? Michael was quiet. Mr. Torres? I don't know. A few times. My client reads to Emma every single night. The same book. The Giving Tree. Emma has it memorized. Robert held up a worn paperback. This is that book, Emma's copy. See the pages? Falling out? Taped back together? Cover worn soft? Mr. Harrison brought it to the hospital the day Emma was born. It was his book from childhood. He set the book on the evidence table. You may share Emma's DNA, Mr. Torres, but Mr. Harrison shares her life. Michael's jaw clenched. Once the truth comes out, Emma will want to be with her real father. Ah, real father. Let's talk about that. Robert pulled out his final exhibit. Emma's therapy notes from Dr. Patterson. Emma was asked to draw her family. Here's what she drew. He held up Emma's crayon drawing, the one from school. She drew 2 people, her and Daddy. Not you, Mr. Torres, not even her mother, just her and the man who's been her father every day for 4 years. He looked at Michael. She already knows who her real father is. I took the stand last. Robert asked me simple questions, my routine with Emma, our bedtime ritual, how I'd felt discovering the truth, how I'd prioritized her stability above my anger. Ms. Henderson's cross-examination was aggressive. Mr. Harrison, you recorded private conversations without consent, tracked your wife's location, built what you call an evidence log, documenting her every move. Does that sound like stable parenting? It sounds like building a custody case. Or like obsessive control. I was protecting my daughter from being removed from the only home she's ever known. Your daughter? She's not your daughter biologically. The words were meant to wound. I looked at Judge Fitzgerald. Your Honor, Emma turned 4 years old 2 weeks after I mailed that DNA test. I had already been her father for 1,160 days. I'd changed her diapers when she was sick, walked her to sleep when she had colic, taught her to swim, to ride a bike, to say please and thank you. Biology is luck. Being a father is choice. I chose her every single day. I'm still choosing her. Even though she's not yours? She is mine. Maybe not in DNA, but in every way that matters. Ms. Henderson pulled out Michael's paternity test. Mr. Torres has established biological paternity. He wants to be involved. Why are you trying to prevent that? I'm not preventing involvement. I'm preventing disruption. Emma doesn't know Michael as her father. She knows him as Uncle Michael. Suddenly reframing that relationship would confuse and hurt her. She needs stability. She needs consistency. She needs the parent who's been showing up. The parent who kicked her mother out? The mother who moved in with her affair partner. I kept my voice level. The mother who told Emma she was having sleepovers at Uncle Michael's house instead of being honest. The mother who missed pickups, canceled calls, and chose her relationship over her daughter's needs for 6 months. You've certainly documented everything. Yes, because in a case like this, the parent who seems more stable wins the child. I made sure there was no doubt about who that parent is. Ms. Henderson smiled. So you admit this was strategic, calculated? Yes, because I love Emma more than I hate her mother. Because I wanted to keep her safe more than I wanted revenge. Because being a father means putting your child first, even when it costs everything. The smile faded. No further questions. Judge Fitzgerald called a recess. 30 minutes that felt like 30 hours. Robert and I sat in the hallway, didn't talk. There was nothing left to say. Across the hall, Sarah cried into Michael's shoulder. Her parents stood nearby, looking lost. My mother appeared. I hadn't seen her in the courtroom. Can we talk? She asked. Not now. Please, I need you to know I'm testifying for you. Robert asked me to explain what I knew and when. I told the truth, all of it. I looked at her. Why? Because you were right. I chose comfort over courage. I chose her secret over your truth. I can't undo that, but I can make it right now. It's too late. Maybe, but you're my son, and Emma is my granddaughter. Both of those things are true. She touched my hand. I'm sorry. I know it doesn't fix anything, but I'm sorry. The bailiff called us back. Judge Fitzgerald didn't waste time. I've been a family court judge for 23 years. I've seen every variation of custody dispute imaginable. This case is unusual, but the law is clear. California recognizes the presumed father doctrine. Mr. Harrison signed the birth certificate. He has raised Emma as his own. He has established a parent-child relationship for 4 years. That creates legal rights, regardless of biology. She looked at Michael. Mr. Torres, you have biological paternity. That gives you certain rights, but you waited 4 years to assert those rights. You allowed another man to establish himself as Emma's father. You cannot now simply step in and displace that relationship because it's convenient. She looked at Sarah. Mrs. Harrison, I believe you love your daughter, but I also believe you prioritized your relationship with Mr. Torres over Emma's stability. The evidence is overwhelming. Missed pickups, canceled calls, introducing confusion about parental roles. A child needs consistency. You haven't provided it. She looked at me. Mr. Harrison, you've documented everything. Some might call it obsessive. I call it thorough. You demonstrated that you can put Emma's needs above your personal feelings, that you maintained stability during a crisis, that you are the parent Emma relies on. She picked up her gavel. Primary physical custody is awarded to David Harrison. Sarah Harrison will have supervised visitation until such time as she can demonstrate consistent, reliable parenting. Michael Torres's biological paternity is noted, but no custody rights are granted at this time. Mr. Torres may petition for visitation after completing parenting classes and demonstrating a stable pattern of involvement. The gavel came down. Court adjourned. Michael stood, shouted, "This is bullshit. She's my daughter." "Mr. Torres, I suggest you sit down before I hold you in contempt." He stormed out. Sarah collapsed in her chair. Her lawyer put a hand on her shoulder. Robert shook my hand. Congratulations. I couldn't feel anything, numb, empty. Then Robert handed me the custody order. Official paper, embossed seal, heavy, heavier than it looked, like holding proof that gravity works. Moving day was a Saturday, clear sky, the kind of day that feels like a beginning. I'd found an apartment across town, 2 bedrooms, small but bright, windows facing east so Emma could watch the sunrise. The movers were professional, careful, but one of them, older guy, gray beard, stopped when he saw the wedding album on the kitchen counter. You taking this? I looked at it, blue leather, worn corners, full of lies. No. Want me to pack it for storage? No, leave it. He nodded. Understood. Emma ran through the empty house, her footsteps echoing. Daddy, it's so big now. That's because all our stuff is gone, baby. Are we taking everything? Everything that matters. She found the photo album, opened it, saw the pictures of the wedding, of Michael standing next to me as best man. Can we take Mommy and Daddy's pictures? My throat closed. We'll take pictures of you and me. We'll make new ones. Okay. She closed the album, left it on the counter. She went back to her room, came out with Mr. Snuggles tucked under her arm, her backpack over her shoulders, her collection of drawings in a folder. I'm ready for our adventure. I picked her up. Me too, baby. The older mover smiled. She's lucky to have you. I'm lucky to have her. We left the keys on the counter, next to the wedding album, next to the life that never really existed. The new apartment smelled like fresh paint and possibility. I'd ordered furniture, simple stuff, functional. Emma's room had a bed shaped like a castle, white with pink towers. She squealed when she saw it. It's perfect. Yeah? Yeah. She climbed up, tested the mattress, jumped. Can I put up my drawings? Wherever you want. She taped them to the walls, all of them, her whole collection, family drawings, house drawings, abstract scribbles that only made sense to her. The last one she put up was the new one. My family, just the 2 of us. This one goes right here, she said above her pillow, so I can see it every night. 3 months later, we had dinner guests. Not family, not the people who'd lied, but the people who'd stayed. Robert and his wife, Anne. Emma's teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez, and her husband. My colleague, Tom, from work, and his kids. I'd bought a new dining table. Round, oak, no head of the table, everyone equal. Emma helped me set it, counted the chairs, made name cards in crayon. This is a lot of people, she said. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Are they our family now? I knelt down. What do you think family means? She thought about it, twisted her hair. People who don't leave? My heart broke and healed at the same time. Yeah, baby, the people who stay. Dinner was loud, chaotic. Emma laughed so hard she snorted milk out of her nose. Tom's kids taught her a clapping game. Mrs. Rodriguez told stories about Emma's first day of school. Robert raised his glass. To new beginnings. To new beginnings, everyone echoed. I looked around the table, at these people who'd shown up, who'd stood beside me, who'd loved Emma without condition or complication. To chosen family, I added. Emma tugged my sleeve. Daddy, what's chosen family mean? I looked around the table again. The people who stay. She smiled. Like you. Yeah, like me. Emma's 5th birthday fell on a Saturday. No big party this time, no hired photographer, no professional cake, just this small, true circle. We decorated the apartment together, balloons Emma picked, streamers she hung crooked, a banner she made herself. Happy Birthday, Emma, in rainbow letters. The cake was homemade, lopsided. Emma had helped frost it. Her little fingers left marks in the icing, lumpy where she'd smoothed it with her hands. It's perfect, I said. It's messy, she corrected. Perfect because you made it with me. Her friends came, not the kids from the old neighborhood. We'd moved on from there. New friends, from school, from the park, from our new life. Mrs. Rodriguez came. Robert and Anne. Tom and his family. My mother came too. We were rebuilding. Slowly. Carefully. No Michael. No Sarah. They'd started their appeals process. Lost. Started another. Lost again. Sarah had visitation now, unsupervised, every other weekend. She showed up, mostly. She was trying, but she wasn't here today. This was our day, mine and Emma's. We sang happy birthday. Emma blew out her candles, 5 of them. What did you wish for? Tom's daughter asked, and I can't tell. It won't come true. Good thinking, I said. After everyone left, Emma and I cleaned up. She was quiet, thoughtful. Daddy, yeah? This birthday was different from last year. Different how? Last year was loud. This year was happy. I pulled her onto my lap. You can have both, you know, loud and happy. I know, but I like this better. With people who actually like me. Everyone likes you, baby. Not like me, like me. Like, she struggled for words. Like, they're happy I exist. Not just happy because they have to be. 5 years old, and already she understood more than she should have to. Emma, listen to me. Every single person who is here today, they're here because they love you, not because they have to, because they want to. Even Miss Rodriguez? Especially Miss Rodriguez. She tells me all the time how special you are. What about Grandma? I hesitated. Grandma made mistakes, big ones, but she's trying to fix them. That counts for something. Do you forgive her? I'm working on it. Me too. She yawned, leaned against my chest. Daddy? Yeah? I'm glad you're my daddy. I'm glad I'm your daddy too. Even though... She trailed off, but I knew what she meant. Even though we'd had the conversation. The age-appropriate, therapist-approved conversation about biology and family and different kinds of love. She knew, had known for 2 months now. Dr. Patterson had helped me tell her. Emma had cried, had been confused, had asked 100 questions, but at the end, she'd said, "So Uncle Michael is my bio dad, but you're my real dad?" If that's how you want to think about it, yes. Okay, I want to think about it like that. Now, on her 5th birthday, she looked up at me. Even though we don't match? We match where it counts. I tapped her chest. In here. In our hearts? In our hearts. She smiled, sleepy. That's the best place to match. Later, after Emma was asleep, I stood in the kitchen. The lopsided cake sat on the counter. Next to it, the framed photo from our beach trip last month. Emma and me at sunset. Sand between our toes. Her laugh captured mid-sound. My arm around her shoulder. No one else in the frame. Just us. On the round oak table, the dinner dishes were still stacked. Evidence of the evening, of laughter, of the family we'd built from nothing. I picked up my phone. Almost posted the photo, almost wrote something about chosen family and second chances and the long road from broken to whole. But I didn't. Some things didn't need an audience. Some joy was just for us. Instead, I pulled out that worn copy of The Giving Tree, the one with pages falling out, cover soft from 1,000 bedtime stories. I went to Emma's room. She was asleep. Mr. Snuggles tucked under her chin, the drawing above her bed casting shadows in the nightlight's glow. I sat on the edge of her castle bed, watched her breathe, counted her breaths like I'd counted them in the hospital 5 years ago. 5 years, 1,125 days, 43,800 hours. I'd been her father for every single one. Biology was luck, a roll of dice, a combination of cells, but showing up. That was choice. Every morning, every nightmare, every scraped knee and lost tooth and bad dream. I'd chosen her 1,825 times. And I'd choose her 1,825 more. The numbers didn't lie. Not anymore. My mother was wrong. We do leave. We leave people who don't deserve us, who hurt us, who choose comfort over courage. But we stay with the people who need us, who love us, who look at us with trust in their eyes and say, "Daddy," like it's the safest word in the world. Emma stirred, reached out in her sleep. I took her hand. "I'm here, baby," I whispered. "I'm not going anywhere." She smiled without waking, squeezed my hand once. Outside, a car drove by. Somewhere, someone was starting their Saturday night. Somewhere, people were arguing, or laughing, or falling in love, or falling apart. But here, in this small apartment with the round oak table, and the lopsided cake, and the 5-year-old dreaming in a castle bed, here, everything was exactly as it should be. I'd lost a wife, a best friend, a mother for a while, a whole life that turned out to be built on sand. But I'd gained something too, the truth, painful and sharp and clean, the certainty of chosen love, the knowledge that some bonds break and some bonds bend and some bonds are forged in fire and come out stronger. Emma's drawing above her bed caught the light. My family. 2 figures, holding hands, simple, true, complete. I kissed her forehead, tucked Mr. Snuggles closer, turned off the light. In the darkness, I heard her whisper, "Love you, Daddy." "Love you most, baby." She'd blown out 5 candles tonight, wished on them, hoped for something. I didn't need to know what, didn't need to guess, because the only wish that mattered had already come true. She was mine. Not because of chromosomes or blood type or whose eyes she had, but because every single day for 5 years I'd chosen to be her father, and she'd chosen me right back. That's the only math that mattered.